What's up, YouTube? This is the Billy Bob HD bringing you a brand new Let's Play. Today I've got some Hearts of Iron 4, the Great War mod. We are going to be playing this campaign as the Russian Empire. So I'm really excited to start out this campaign. You know, I had some feedback that I'm always playing Central Powers, countries and such, and totally agree. So I did want to start off as an interesting nation here, playing as part of the Entente. So we're going to play as Russia. The goal of the campaign is going to be to defend against the Germans and the Austrians here and the rest of the Central Powers, however that may slice out over the course of the campaign. Defend against that and then avoid having the Soviet revolution occur. And so to uphold our holdings here on our Western Front, potentially expand here into the Balkans against the Ottoman Empire even, for example, and reassert Russia's sort of power at the time, right? The country at this time, or at least in a couple of years, it is May 1910 that we're starting off here, over the course of the war, goes through the revolution, and for the communists there, loses control, or at least the Tsar loses control, right? And so we're going to try to reverse history and become, once again, the most powerful nation in the world. So this is going to be really fun. We do start off, of course, with Nicholas II here. We do have Eastern Orthodox Church, so that gives me a little bit of a national unity boost. We have the humiliation here. Division organization -5, daily political power. Cost is plus 0.8. So the Battle of Tsushima, we did just lose a war against the Japanese Empire here recently. And this was humiliating for Russia. We lost all of its battleships and most of their cruisers and destroyers. The battle effectively ended the Russo-Japanese War in Japan's favor. We also have the limited railway infrastructure, so division attrition plus 5%, due in part to the poor financial state of the Tsarist government and their inability to finance railroad construction. By the early 1880s, all railroads were private companies. But then as private railroads got into the financial difficulty, the government took over some of them, resulting in a mixed system of private and government railways. So that kind of sucks. We're already sitting at partial mobilization here, which is good. We have limited exports right now and limited conscription. But even with that limited conscription, we're sitting at almost 4 million men in manpower, so we have lots to work with there. We do need to set up a national focus, and so since it is 1910, we're probably going to be playing on speed 5 here for a lot of this. But lots of really interesting political and diplomatic efforts we can make over here towards the left. However, the old adage with Russia is you want to make sure that you get your industry up and going and solidify that. So we're going to go with industrial effort to start off with there for my national focus. From a research standpoint, we've got some updated ships here, at least until 1914, so that's good to see. We have good infantry equipment until 1914 there as well. We've already researched the support equipment and have access to all potential support battalions here. Armored car-wise, we've got a little ways to go before we worry about that. Okay, artillery. We do need to make sure that we're at least at that 1910 research there, so I'm going to start off with a field artillery research there. Industrial-wise, remember we said we wanted to make sure we are building up our industry as much as possible, so I'm going to go with the basic hand tools here, the new surgical instruments here. Oil production gives us plus 2% oil. Resource gain efficiency plus 3%. Construction speed is going to be very important for us too, right? So we want to get that human-powered transport. So I think that's a decent way to start off our research tree. We've got 7 military factories we need to plug in and 2 additional naval dockyards. So I'm building battle cruisers and dreadnoughts right now. So those are the bigger ships, obviously. So we need to... I want to create a smaller ship line here for the protected cruiser level 2. So that fills out our dockyards. And just to double check, the protected cruiser 2 here, okay, we don't move up into the light cruiser title until 1914, so feeling good there. Military factories wise, we're going to want to recruit out a bunch of new divisions if we potentially can. So currently showing a need of 1360 here. That's looking pretty good. Total need of 56 here for the support equipment. Okay. So basic, we've got infantry equipment level 1. Let's give him another 2 factories there. Let's give another factory here to the support equipment. We are missing some aluminum. Let's also give 1 to field artillery. Horse-drawn vehicles, we're producing almost 1 per day of those out already. I think I'm okay there. So I'm actually going to take 1 more here, 1 more here, and 1 more here. Awesome. Not going to worry about air stuff here necessarily right off the bat. We do need to assign some jobs for our civilian factories, right? Really quickly, we do have actually a decent infrastructure starting out with here, except in the very north of Finland. So I'm feeling okay over in these areas, and then of course in the east it's a little lighter on the infrastructure, but I'm not planning on going to war with the Japanese Empire. They normally join the Entente as well. So let's start out here and just plug in a civilian factory, for example. Okay, good. So we've got full production going there, and then 13 out of 15 factories working for us there. We also want to make sure that we have a powerful navy, right? So let's go ahead and start queuing up some additional dockyard construction there. Okay, that's good for now. And I think I'm okay on my military factories for now, because we're just going to be producing out, again, this infantry division. We want to make sure that we put resources on green, or reinforcements on green there, to automatically send our production to the front lines first. But we've got a combat width currently of 12 here. We need to actually probably work on the army experience to boost this up a little bit. But the cool thing is we start out with a recon and an engineer company there, so that's pretty decent, I would say. But let's go ahead and start training out a lot of new infantry divisions here. It's going to be the mainstay of our army since our manpower is so awesome. No location has been set, so let's go ahead and put these guys over here in Moscow. Well, actually, I want them... Let's pick Minsk for now. I want them to sort of show up here on our western front. So that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and put in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's produce out 10 here to start out with. I'm not going to really go with any armored car recon divisions right now or anything like that. Just missing that aluminum. So where can we buy aluminum? From the U.S., of course. Let's go ahead and start off building from, or buying from the U.S., I guess. That would be good. And we can actually go ahead and get the clock going here. So we're going to start off at speed 4 here while I'm trying to organize. Let's go not today. All right. Here we go. So I want to make sure that I've got plenty of force up here on our western front, right? So let's take this group here, for example, to start out with. The death of Edward the Seventh. Create a first army group here. We're going to need a field marshal, aren't we? So field marshal, skill. So yes, it happens to be that Sukhanov here is definitely my best field marshal. So he's going to be in charge of Teal Group. And I really want him to guard the German border here. So he has 40 divisions to start out with. He's going to move those into position. We've got a bunch of other divisions sitting up here, which is pretty cool to see. I don't think I'm going to take any immediate action up here in the north. So let's get a bunch more of these divisions. Albanian Revolt. The Balkans are a powder keg. Let's get a lot of these divisions here in the south assigned. At least to a new army group. This is going to be our next field marshal here, who will give this guy... Okay, we've got 2 to choose from. Max planning plus 10%. Max entrenchment plus 30%. I like the entrenchment guy because that's going to represent a nice defensive line for us, right? So let's move these guys in here right off the bat. He's got 28 divisions to start out with. Let's go ahead and move these units in like this. Okay, we are probably going to need a force here to work against the Ottomans whenever they join the Entente. So, or excuse me, the Central Powers. South African independence. Reconnaissance plus 25. Okay, I'm going to go with this guy. He's going to be Orange Group, and he's going to come up here to the border of the Ottoman Empire there. Alright, so we can use some of these divisions, for example, to continue bolstering the Austrian front here. So they've got 40 divisions as well. He's showing as vastly outmatched here. Yeah, because we have these negative modifiers, right? And so the attrition sucks. The organization sucks. So we're going to need to work on organization for sure. Here we go. I'm going to take the rest of these divisions here now, and let's include this guy. We're going to set you guys up here on the German border again. So it's up to 65 divisions there now. Oh, I have a humongous fleet up here, don't I? Over 100 ships. So these guys are all moving in accordingly. And then we've got 2 other divisions here that we can plug into the Ottoman group. Plug you in like this. So he's got 23 out of 24 divisions now assigned. Another 9 divisions over here. 4 divisions up here. And 6 over there. So let's try to go something like this. It's not going to let me select all of them at once necessarily with a box. So let's go like this. This is going to be pink group here, and he needs a general. I'm going to give him sort of a crappier one here, Baratov. And his job is just going to be to guard the Chinese border there somewhat. And then I can actually add... Okay, we do have a small fleet over here in the east as well. So let's add 5 divisions here to max out. And then I'm going to send these 5 divisions back over here towards the west. Industrial effort is finished. Pause. And we're going to give him to the Austrians here, the Austrian front. Okay. So 45 divisions that we're seeing there. Time to pick a new effort here. So let's go ahead and get the infrastructure effort going. On pause here yet again. So let's take a look at our Navy. Okay. Looking pretty good. Let's take these guys here and combine them in. So this is our main fleet here of over 100 ships. And yeah, that's the big guy there. Okay. So he's got 9 battle cruisers, 7 battleships, 5 light cruisers. I thought we didn't have any battleships. Japan-Korea Annexation Treaty. Oh, well. 14 subs in there as well. So let's go ahead and give him an admiral, right? Spotting chance, capital ship armor. That's a good one to have, since we have so many capital ships in this fleet, right? And we're going to want to immediately have control over the Baltic, so I'm going to assign them there for the time being, right? Because we're going to want to take control over that from the Germans so they don't have access to the sea through this area. We're going to hopefully eventually worry about the British taking care of these areas. Over here, I have a fleet of 28 here in the Black Sea, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and give him here. He has 3 battleships, 2 light cruisers, 8 destroyers, 15 coastal subs. And I'm thinking as part of the Entente, he probably just needs to hang out in the Black Sea here. And yeah, that should cut off any potential Austrian expansion. I'll let the Italians worry about this area over here. We can switch that up eventually if we need to. Human-powered transport is finished. Basic hand tools are done. Alright, and then here's our last fleet over here. With 27 ships. And again, we're not going to really have a threat over here, so I'm almost wondering if he needs to be assigned back over in the east. Not a big fleet at all. Light cruiser and destroyers here. So let's give him kind of a crappy admiral here. And I just noticed I've got even a better admiral to use. This level 4 guy here. Retreat, decision, fleet speed, superior tactician. So let's okay, let's switch him out here. Okay, cool. So he's going to be my main admiral. We need to get the new here, max factory output here, the heavy industry level 1. And then resource gain efficiency +5. Recon company, reconnaissance there. Let's actually, I'm going to swing directly into the improved hand tools here to get that better production going. And here we go. Alright. So total need now of over 36k in overall infantry equipment level 1 there. We're making over 52 per day, so that's pretty good. The support equipment there is going to need some help for sure. We have yet to add in... So, okay, something we can do is actually gain some army experience by training up some of these guys, right? They're going to need it as well for when the war kicks off. So all of my Western Front units here, we're going to put you guys into training to gain some additional army experience. Slow going here on the political power, so that's all right. Let's bump it up to speed 5. Romania typically joins the Entente there, so I'm not too worried about that border right now. And yeah, reinforcements wise, so we need 29,000 or so in infantry equipment on the front lines here. And just really quickly, once we get enough political power, I'm going to get the military theorist there, so we're not burning additional equipment through our training, right? Free dockyard now. Let's put you into the protected cruiser there, just to spread that out. So we've got 3, 3, and 3. Infrastructure effort is finished. All right, really quickly, though. Okay, good. We're still constructing out these new dockyards here. National focus-wise, let's go to... construction effort. It's a really good one. Oh, don't meet the requirements. We have to wait till January of 1911 to do that. Okay, so we're okay there for now. Reinforced Imperial Navy. This will give us 3 dockyards, so let's get that going. Free dockyard here. I'm going to automatically start plugging that into the Dreadnought production. Construction-wise, let's continue with some naval power here. Naval construction. Or like that. That'll keep them busy for a while. We do need to make sure all new ships are going to St. Petersburg. Or gathering up in St. Petersburg, right? So I'm going to pick these like this. St. Petersburg, of course, the capital of the Russian Empire here at this time. Okay, cool. So we're just going to start stockpiling a new fleet, I think, out there. New surgical instruments are done. Field artillery is finished. All right. Let's go ahead and get the pocket camera here to help out our recon. I haven't still checked and see how good our resources are. We have tons of wood, tons of coal, tons of chromium and steel. We've got tons of oil as well. Lacking aluminum, rubber, and tungsten right now. Okay. So really, this tech is not super important to me right now. Trench excavation. Oh, that's something we need to construct out too, is really good trenches, right, along the lines here to help in our defense when the war breaks out. So it is September of 1911, or 1910 right now. I am definitely... It's interesting. Portugal becomes a republic, okay. Why is this guy not showing me how favorable his oh, it's because he's exercising, that's why, okay. That makes sense now. Alright, free dockyards here again. Put you in like that. Heavy Industry 1 is finished. We've got to wait till 1916 to go up to the next one there. War Medicine, Infantry Recovery Rate. Let's get that going. Alright, put you in like this. So slowly building up the naval production lines there. We're producing out a lot of field artillery, but actually don't have enough army experience to add it to the template yet. But we'll make sure we get that in there, right? Alright. How are we doing on the national focus now? That one is coming up, and this one will be done in about a week, which is good. Might be time to swing into some diplomatic type. Mexico declared war on the Mexican opposition. Okay. Revolution in Mexico. So let's put in our additional dockyards we just received there. Awesome. European focus or Asian focus. Of course, I think I'm going to want to go European focus here. add some additional naval bases, but these were for dockyards. Okay. All right. Oh, land doctrines. Those are going to be very important. Diplomatic effort, political power. Deal with Wilhelm II at peace with German Empire. Non-aggression pact with the German Empire. Versus celebrating the Russian-French alliance, which is more historical. I think that's the way we would want to go. We get some trenches by going this way. Defy Germany. Guarantee France, Belgium, Luxembourg, etc. Okay, that's looking cool. Political effort here. That gives me additional political power. Reject the reforms, etc. So if we go back over here now, I am House of Romanov 75% support there. Bolsheviks 10%, etc. So let's just get the political effort here next. Because I do want to get that military theorist again right here to continue building up my army experience to upgrade my templates. We actually had almost enough divisions over here by China to almost fully cover the line, which is cool to see. Okay. We need some new projects here now. So, one more dockyard that we can add in, so I'll give it to you. Civilian factories now. Let's add in one more civilian factory like this, and then let's actually start putting in for some more military factories, right? Because I do want to expand the production. We need to be able to produce out regiments, or divisions pretty quickly. So will allow us to do that. We'll upgrade the template there next episode. Cool. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, this has been the Billy Bob HD. Please remember to like, subscribe, and or comment if you've enjoyed my content, and we'll catch you next time.